And when we think about the 50 years ahead from here, maybe the first exercise, which is good, is to look at the 50 years back and see how different we were then. And we certainly were very different then. We didn't talk much about the digital space. We didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have this and that. And the world was not connected in the way it is today. No, it's quite dramatically, I would say, even quite dramatically different. And so the only expectation we should have is that the world will be at least, if not much more different in 2073 than it is now. And from that perspective, that's that's a starting point. And the second point that I'm going to make is that, well, when we look at the 50 years ahead, that means that about 2 generations, if we calculate that the average generation is 25 years. And so again, 2 generations after, so basically our sort of grandchildren's time. It means that in those days, we will have evolved as a human societies a lot in terms of our awareness, our consciousness, and of course our knowledge as well. And since we have created this new kind of a digital space, which is for the communication and learning, and enabling us to get feedback and to interact, if we are now just sort of started that, I mean, social media just created less than 20 years ago, then we can think that, well, in 2075, this connectivity between the peoples and nations are on a very different level. That's one thing for sure. But on the top of that, that we feel ourselves very much to be like in the one boat, there is more to that. And that this more comes actually that not only we are in this one boat, but also we are seeing the same things in a very different way than we do today. Today, we're still kind of in our everyday life, we still pretty much live our local lives and have our local problems that are partly same and partly different, depending on which part of the world we are living. But in 2073, we have a situation where actually we have kind of a world consciousness. So whatever happens in the other parts of the world is very easily knowable to us. And that makes it that whatever problems and challenges and I would say also risks there are, they are felt immediately by the whole globe. Now, this is then leading to the question that, okay, what happens between now and 2073? In other words, what are the types of the issues that we are about to tackle in our human societies to make it a better place for the humans to live, which is our ultimate drive, which is like what we are here for. We are building the good life here on Earth. We don't know exactly what's happening afterwards. We don't know actually where we come from. But here we are living in this life. And then the question is that, okay, is there something that really prevents us from living much better life than what we normally do? And the immediate answer to that question is that yes, very much so. There is the issue of relationship between the humans and the nature. In fact, we have now started to tackle that in the last, I would say, last 20 to 30 years. Even though the first signs came much before that, but this, how we actually tackle the question that, well, we have been here for building our societies, but it has come with a cost of extracting the nature from nature, all kinds of things, and without thinking about the consequence of our own action. So that is now what we are facing our challenge with, because so much of our lives as human beings, leave alone nature, is actually going down because of the scarcity of the natural resources, and because our wasteful consumption of that.